Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to be looking again at the possible formation of a reaccumulation range. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also please check out the Telegram channel in the description below. If you follow the channel, we talked a lot about this accumulation range over here that essentially lasted us from April 29th of 2020 out to July 21st of 2020. And we noted, right, when we were in this range, if we just look at, say, from approximately 8,600 all the way over, and then from approximately 10K all the way over, we said this seems, right, like this seems like it might be an accumulation range, right? And we noted it several times as we were moving through it, basically identifying, okay, and we didn't identify it this early, right? It was too early, but basically identifying these tops, right, that you see, and also the bottoms that you see. And this was, in a sense, as many people thought it was, or many people did think it was like a distribution, right? And essentially what that would mean is people who were buying Bitcoin way back here were essentially, distributing it out, kind of selling you their bags in a sense, or I don't want to say bags because, they were up, but the general idea, right, is it was a distribution phase before we're going to head back down. We did talk extensively about the likelihood of it being a reaccumulation phase, namely because we looked back at a past cycle and noted that even in a bull market, we typically see moves sideways that can even last like half a year. So we said, there's a good chance, right, that this is a reaccumulation phase. And it turned out to be exactly that. And now, we look at this and say, well, are we in the, so I'm just going back so to complete some of these. So now we're basically looking back at it and saying, okay, well, are we entering another reaccumulation phase that could take a while? And on the live stream the other day, we looked at it, and so there are some similarities, right? If you look at the general trend, I mean, it's not a perfect science, right? But you see that first move up, right? And let's change this to a different color. So you see the first move up, just like over here, you kind of have that. So you have this large candle, right? First, so you have the candle, then the move up, candle, and then that move up there, hits resistance, right? Comes back down, so comes back down here, and then here you can see it comes back down. Then it goes back up, right? It comes back up, but when it goes back up to essentially the level that it was at the first peak, right? And it did the same thing here. It comes back up, same level as the first peak. This is the daily time frame, by the way. And really, I mean, this, I guess I really didn't draw this one the way I should have. I mean, it just goes straight up basically, and then it moves sideways for a while. See it move sideways again. We then come back to the bottom, okay? Back to the bottom-ish, right? I mean, the wick is all the way back down here. Then it comes back to the top, but this time the top is higher than the previous two, right? So you can see this top, and the bodies of the candles, right, were higher than the previous two. Same thing, right? We come up, and the candle is higher than the previous two. So if we were to draw the trend line, right, if we said that this, approximately this region, right, was the top, and then, down here, right, is the bottom, you can see the similarities, right? This candle goes slightly above it. Then you have a candle, if we draw at that region, hold support, up, down, up, sideways, down, up, above the previous two local highs, like we saw here. And then after that, it came back down, but it didn't go back all the way down to this range down here. So it just came back down, not nearly as much. It went from 10.3 all the way up to 10.4, down to 9,500. So if we were to take a measured move on that, from, let's just go to the candle, and coming down to the bottom of the candle, it came down 7%. And then looking at this one, what do you know? Approximately 7%. So it looks, right? They look pretty similar. So if, this is a big if, right? Because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, at any point, something different could happen, right? But if this were to continue repeating, then we would see a slow move back up to the top. So maybe something like that over the next few days. So we'll see if the fractal, or maybe pattern, right? We'll see if the pattern plays out. It doesn't have to, right? I mean, it could do its own thing. It could come back down. It could just go back up and continue on up and say to hell with your fract, or to hell with the pattern that you're drawing. But let's just see, right? I mean, maybe we come back up and retest it. Now, one of the things that I want to highlight is the time. This is compressed, right? It's a little bit more compressed than this one. And I'll show you what I mean. So if we take a measured move from here to that peak, right, that we can easily identify right here, it took 33 days. But if you go from the same point in this, in this potential reaccumulation phase and go over, it only took 21 days. Now, if you take another measured move from the bottom, or from when we entered the accumulation range to when we started to really move up, okay, and maybe I should draw it over to where we actually started moving, like where we broke it. It took 89 days, okay? But you can see that, I mean, 21, 32, so the ratio is approximately 2/3, right? Not exactly. So then let's say this is 90. So if you take 2/3 of that, it's 60 days. So if the compression remains the same and the fractal continues, and it just is like a rinse and repeat, but at a faster pace, then it would put us breaking through 12K and moving to the next stage on September 25th of 2020. Now, there's a lot of ifs in here, right? I mean, the fractal, it seems like there's a pretty, the pattern seems like there's a pretty big similarity going on, right? The same type of moves. It seems like it's just compressed, right? And I think a good test, right, will be, are we going to move back up to 12K slowly, right? And then bleed back down to the lower part of the channel, maybe closer down to 11K, maybe hold support at 11K if we repeat this pattern, and then eventually break through 12K, and then make a run at like 13K, maybe 14K. So we'll see what happens, right? I mean, we'll see if this pattern continues to play out like it has been so far. It seems to be a pretty good fit, but obviously we reserve the right to say, Bitcoin at the end of the day is going to do whatever it wants to do. It's going to go in whatever direction it wants to go to, regardless of what has happened in the past. But the primary thing that I just want to talk about, right, is the fact that this, like this one, could just be another reaccumulation phase. Like, it could be another chance to reaccumulate Bitcoin if you missed out on this range. Now, again, we must always be ready for the 20-week, right? And the 20-week, let me switch this over to a weekly time frame. So the 20-week, as we know, as we talk about quite frequently, is currently at 94.25. So if we break through this and start coming back down, the key area for me to look out for, right, is the 20-week moving average. If we break below that, then there's a lot of stops along the way. There's the 50-week, there's the 100-week. The 200-week is all the way down here at 64, 67 at present time. That'll likely be higher if we were to drop below it, unless we drop to it tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. It seems like if you look at weekly candles, you can see that we're potentially just in this accumulation range, right? And we might be in between say 10.9 up to around 12K. We might be in this range for a few more weeks, right? I mean, it could drag on for a while. So again, we'll see what happens. Again, for me, I don't trade based off this. I just use the risk levels. If you guys want access to the premium content, if you guys like the content, make sure you at least subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see future videos. Turn on your alerts. But if you like, if you like the premium content, we do have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. You get access to a weekly report, a weekly premium video, a private alerts channel on Telegram, a private Telegram chat room, a risk dashboard, which is what I use to trade long-term momentum shifts in the market, and a strategies dashboard, which will help you DCA, test out different DCA strategies for moving out of the market. So trying to like identify, okay, well, how do I leverage a potential bubble to my advantage so I'm not just stuck holding a bag and wishing I had sold. So covers a lot of stuff. Make sure you check it out, intothecryptoverse.com. The prices are going to be going up sometime this month or next month. And for those who get in, you're grandfathered in right at the lower price. And if you wait until the prices do go up, then you're going to have to pay the higher price. So it's just a way to reward those people that have been following the channel for a long time and they get in now. So basically people who join later are going to have to pay a higher price. If you want to pay with crypto, you can do so on the website and even get a nice discount. So if you pay for 12 months, you get a 15% discount. Again, you can always just try it out for 1 month using fiat. If it's not your thing, you can cancel. No big deal. But I do think it provides a lot of value. There's a ton of people getting value out of it. And so I would encourage you to check it out if you've been kind of waiting for a while because the prices will be going up. So I think that'll basically wrap it up for this video. I just wanted to, again, alert people as we noted the other day in the live stream that it does seem like there's a decent chance that Bitcoin just kind of moves sideways for a while and just continues to kind of move systematically up to the next level. And again, as we've said before, it's going to take a long time, right? We're not just going to go to 12K and hold it if it's a bubble up there. I mean, if we go to 12K or if we go to 20K in 2 months or something, like a lot of people think, it's probably not going to be sustainable. What we need is what's happening right now. We need it to go up and then go sideways for a while, and then go up and then go sideways for a while. This is the best thing, I think, in terms of actually building to a level that we can hold. In terms of profit taking in the short term, the best thing would be to observe, say, a short-term speculative bubble, right? So then we can take profits, then watch it come back down, and then continue on our merry way. We'll see what happens with that, right? And we have ideas with other coins related to what Bitcoin's doing. So make sure you tune in for those videos. But that's just the general update. Let me know what you guys think. Check out the premium list. Give the video a thumbs up. At the very least, make sure you subscribe and check out the Telegram channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.